Abort! Abort! Cut! Cut!
You tried your
Yes,
best,
welcome.
Daniel. I give you a pat on the somewhat back for effort.
I do think this is a... I don't quite understand this. Oh, the root of all pumpkin evil. Squash that squash. A regalia of the seedy menace. I don't get the idea of why it's called the pumpkin serpent, because it has nothing that looks like a serpent.
I feel like it's the tendrils.
Yeah, it might be the tendrils.
Perhaps, and perhaps to avoid copyright. If he's not the Pumpkin King, I lied. King Pumpkin, we'll call him.
Well,
They're pretty much just calling him multiple
earlier.
things.
I know.
I mean, they just call him whatever the hell they feel like.
In
All
fact,
we
it's
know
even
is that he's a monarch and he's made of pumpkin.
fun. And you gotta
We need
destroy
to
the
kill
pods.
all the pods.
Also, not only is this place
these
home
pods.
to the pumpkin serpent, but if you were to go to, I want to say either the left of that where you're at right
The
now,
left.
or yeah, there's another witch's cauldron.
Are we gonna
jeez,
take care of that
yeah.
first, or
I think we'll introduce her at least, but hang on.
It is rumored that the pumpkin witch is in possession of a much sought-after dragon gem. If you have a witch talisman, examine this kindly witch.
Give me that. So yes, let's go check in on the Pumpkin Witch.
Much like before, take out your witch talisman, and I'll admit
She's
the design they gave her for this is
Whoa.
definitely interesting.
I am the pumpkin witch. I'm like
She
my
looked
mother's
sillier in
house
the original, but this is fairly,
yeah.
accurate.
yeah?
From the moment they first push a shoot above the
What's
soil,
weird with weird
right
actual
up into
eyes
their
as
heads,
opposed to
they
just
cut off
the
any
beady eyes she had in the
And
original.
look, see how they repay me, running around and causing mischief.
It's
She
just
doesn't like
really
where her
weird
children are
because she doesn't look her gender. I'm not trying to misgender her or anything. I just say it's really hard to imagine her with this kind of
She needs
voice
more
with that
hair.
design.
You know
Needs
what?
more hair.
For some reason, the face reminds me of Reignited Professor. Those rare occasions he has his eyes open.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, again, she looks far more silly and toy-like in the original, so I think
Yeah.
they did what they could.
Which is fair.
Okay. Let's
So
go hunt
yeah,
more of the
time to smash
pods.
us some pods.
But bear in mind, but remember that, but do remember that she would probably. Oh geez. Okay, so the enraged, embering ones are ones that are gonna just straight up charge you. Really noted. But yeah, do remember that she definitely is interested in us freeing the pumpkins, because then she will give us a reward, and I will be very anxious to see what that reward is. But in order for the Pumpkin King to even like pay attention to us, we have to destroy his pods.
Whoop. Ba-doop.
I feel
careful.
bad
Oh,
for
jeez.
some of these pumpkin bombs just rolling around with absolutely no sense of direction.
Oh, those fish are
Help
flopping
me.
about.
Aw.
One thing I don't like is I don't
Wait
like
a
that
minute.
if you get
I
another.
just realized the red herrings.
Oh, that's a cute little joke.
Dude.
But yeah, one thing I don't like about the shield thing is that you can only like have one of any kind of. You can only have one of each type of shield.
Yeah.
Like if I find another silver shield, it's not a full another silver shield. It just fills your shield bar a bit.
Yeah, they're just extended health bars, nothing more.
Yeah. Hang on to that bomb for later.
One more.
Here. Oh, geez. Here's the last one over here. And thus we can finally trigger this particular, I guess you can call that chapter. Get rid of the pumpkin bombs.
Nope.
There.
So yeah,
Chapter boss.
the pumpkin serpent. Just look at this monstrosity.
Oh yeah, it's
Ugh.
nasty.
That is
This is how
very
far
nasty.
this is how far we've come in video game graphics, ladies and gentlemen.
A moldy old pumpkin, but they do a decent job of making this thing genuinely look rotten and shriveled up.
And not look
Yeah.
like a hamburger.
Yep.
So here's how the... Ooh, yeah, not like hamburger. Ooh. Okay, so what we need to... Okay, so we've just triggered the second stage. We need to take out a few more pods while it regenerates its health. I don't think there's any way to stop it from gaining back its whole health bar, but I'm gonna just try and dash around and see if I can, speed run.
I
this
do
stuff.
know that if you smash all the pods early enough, then he only has about as much health as he was able to regain.
Yeah.
Let's see. He had like 50 or so when he... Oh yeah, look at that. That's
Basi-
handy.
Oh yeah, no, it's especially handy if you can get those pods out quick enough, because then it just makes taking him out a little easier.
But again, you just have to knock out the tendrils first, and then we can strike at him. There we go. Wow.
That didn't.
We ain't looking too good.
Yeah, now I think it only has one more phase left to go, and it's speed out far more pods.
Okay, so
Yeah.
just
Or
watch
more
and
like
pay
they're
attention.
the same amount of plots, but they're more spread out. So
Yeah, I was about to
Jesus,
say.
better get a mosey.
Yeah, just pay attention to where they were. Otherwise, yeah, this boss isn't too bad. Oh, and also be careful because as we're running around away from him, don't think he hasn't stopped paying attention to you. He will start to launch mortar strikes on you when you're out here in the wilderness. So don't stay in one place for too long.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. All right, let's
Look
do
at
it.
him.
God.
Ugh, gross.
Now, there was an
So I guess-
exciting dinner conversation.
No. So I guess I should ask.
No, especially
So I guess-
not on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. It's like, so how was your day today, Jeffrey? Did you see how rotten the pumpkin looks in MediEvil?
Funny it's when
Looks
you
like
bring that
this.
up, though, Jordy, because technically this game was released just in time for Halloween.
That's true.
So you technically could be playing this around Thanksgiving and just, yeah,
Die.
Fun.
all those,
But hey.
all such seedy deaths.
But hey, we managed to restore life and get rid of
Ooh,
most of
black
the weird
roses.
rooted tendrils.
Very nice.
There's plenty of cleanup left to do, but I'm sure the Pumpkin Witch will have no problems cleaning all that up.
Oh, and do note that the well is now open. So while I'm going off to talk to the pumpkin witch, just to say, hey, dude, check it out, I beat it.
You owe me a
James,
dragon gem.
what have been your experiences with this remake so far? We'll get that for in just a second. Oh,
Yeah, I will be right back.
Okay.
no worries.
Vegetable in a magnificent duel to the death.
Oh, her voice is so cute.
Over all of the doodar.
Oliver Duda.
This lovely
They the voice just makes her seem like a straight up pumpkin mama.
majestic creature.
She does
mean,
look like
yeah,
a
most
pumpkin
likely.
mama.
So there, we got one of 2 dragon gems we need for a necessary upgrade. But yeah, what were your experiences with this game like so far, James?
I mean, I've already beaten it like a few months ago, and as I've said before, I've had a fair amount of experience with MediEvil, but I never really dedicated with it like I was with Crash or Spyro or most other platformer mascots at the time. It was just one of those games I just tested out on the occasion because I know what MediEvil is, and then I just kind of just dropped it and forgot about it. And then the remake was announced, and I was like, ooh, this looks kind of interesting. And so by the time it was released, I decided, you know what? I should give Sir Dan my full attention. And so I did. I beat the game, and I mean, despite the occasional bullshit parts, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I'm hoping we get to. I do hope if they continue to do this, that they'll maybe give the company who did this some time to try out the sequel as well.
I do think if they are going to do the sequel, I think we said this before, but they do need to make some serious changes to the original formula. Like, again, make sure that health springs don't disappear for good after using them once. Oh, hello.
Dan.
Look at that giraffe neck.
Hello, lady.
It's the cultural thing.
Don't be shy. I've seen you giving me the eye.
It's
Yeah,
supposed
she
to be
has
an
a thing-
Amazon.
Weak and feeble.
Yes, and
Yeah,
she
an
has kind of the
Amazonian
hot,
woman.
and she has kind of the hots for Dan.
Ah, that's right.
Bow and arrows are
Yeah, don't honestly, Hype. I was actually really worried. I was like, oh crap, is this one of the characters that Hype really likes? But
Oh, don't worry,
the
it's
scanner's fine. But
Yeah, I just had to go check the mail because apparently Mom was expecting a package.
Okay.
we got a
So
spear.
we got the spear. I didn't use this one all that much.
This is fair. This actually is stronger than you would think. I'm gonna show off just a quick.
Whoa.
Multiple, but yeah, I
It
will
is
try
easily the
not to.
strongest. It is easily the strongest range weapon, but you don't get a lot of it.
Slow. Yeah, they're slow, but yes, I will actually be using this. I'll be following what SGB said. I'll be using it for a particular boss later on. Real quick, was it SGB or Brain Scratch that were retiring after this year?
Oh, SGB.
Wait, what?
SGB. They're the ones that are going to be retiring.
Wait, why's that?
They just want to. They just want to move on with their lives, pretty much. And
I thought we.
it's like-
Yeah, I'm
they
pretty sure we
got
talked about this
other
already,
matters to
but-
attend to. Like Matt has his work, John has his channel to look over, and Brain Scratch.
Right.
And Ellie and Sabrina, well, they're a thing now.
But yeah,
This town
I
was once
actually
so
didn't know that
lively.
they were going to retire. That's
What's the opposite of lively? Deadly? Okay, yeah, that's what this town is now.
Oh yeah, the Sleeping Village, basically the area that we saw at in the opening cutscene.
We finally made it. So, note: the people of the town? It's not their fault that they're all evil and stuff. So
And they're trying to kill you, but do not return this. Do not return the sentiment because
it affects your chalice percentage.
Exactly.
Yeah, they are kind souls that should not be placed into the chalice. So note, if you look up there, Jordy, our chalice is already at 61%, even though we haven't killed anything yet.
Huh.
Let's keep it that way.
Yeah,
Only kill
all that percentage
evil
counts for
things.
the villagers.
So yeah, kill evil things. If you kill any humans, it will say something like a good soul was lost, and your percentage will actually go down.
Okay.
To be
It's not
fair,
like
that
Go ahead.
there is a little bit of wiggle room where if you accidentally do kill one, it won't affect your chances of getting the chalice that much, but you still have to be careful.
Right,
Okay.
and I know this was the case in the original. I don't know how bad it is in the remake. Hello, little girl. Ah! But
Oh, she
jeez.
got an axe!
I do remember
run.
the original game. The AI for the villagers was kind of brain dead.
Yeah, but
it was
particularly one
actually-
near the lake.
And he could walk into the lake. But yeah, I think they saved that. But yeah, back in the original, it was possible for them to accidentally walk into the lake and die. But here, just keep your finger off the attack button, and you should be fine.
Yeah.
Also, don't dash into them. Oh, hang on, go in here.
Well, I think if you dash into them, you can stun them, but it won't actually hurt them.
house, Steven!
Man, that woman's about to kabong.
Yeah,
Like she
but I was
was.
about to say, I think you don't
Hang
have
on,
to worry
actually,
about...
we have to talk about this because there's some ancient lore in here.
We get to see all the magnificent tales of Sir Dan's men.
During the dark times,
Basically, there was a good old king named King Peregrine, and Daniel used to work for King Peregrine as a favor to his father, or something like that. Dan was more so like Dan was kind of more of the I'm so brave, I once did this, and he told many stories to the king and made sure that he was we got an intruder.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember. I think it was either my playthrough or I just saw someone else go through this. They were reading a story, and the villager was literally just was literally
How dare you
just
interrupt my good reading?
pounding on your ass like so.
Ah.
Oh, hello, finger.
That is his finger. It is his finger. Nothing else. It's his finger holding the axe. As I read this story about Kenny Tim, camera, can we please pull out of this view now that I'm learning about the shadow demons that were very bad creatures?
Wow, K-Tim
It's
looked a lot
very
smaller than I expected.
No,
Stop
okay,
it.
moving on.
Oh,
Out. Stop it. Jeez.
Let me read!
God.
yeah, they're also very persistent.
tourist guide.
Thank
Oh,
you.
tourist guide.
Oh, never.
Yes,
Oh, you know what? Never
yeah.
mind. I guess they fixed that in the patch.
Thank good. Yeah, they freeze him. But yeah, so Zarok.
Well-
So Zarok had these huge, terrifying demons known as the Shadow Demons, but fortunately they've been sealed away in the forest. Ow!
Actually, I was about to say, you say that, James. I do remember, maybe for the ones inside. I know the ones outside kind of do that sometimes because that's another one of my favorite bits from the Caddy review where he's reading and the girl keeps cleaving him, but he's still in the text box. So it's like, no matter how many times you hit me, you'll never cleave me, never cleave me, child.
Okay, we do need to talk about this though, Hype, because this is some of our favorite stuff. So this is talking about all the heroes in the Hall of Heroes and how they unfortunately met their disappointed
demise.
ends. So we can learn about some of them, like Blood Monnet Skullcleaver, a man who was so brave and arrogant that he literally took on an entire garrison using only the spike on his helmet as a weapon.
Yep.
It didn't end well.
He had Woden the Mighty, who was unbeaten. He inspired raw fear into his foes, not to mention his close family relatives. Imanzi Shungama was the warrior queen of the Amazons. She banished all males from the territory. Megwin Stormbiter is a really cool situation. While her husband and all the other men were off on a hunting trip, a bunch of marauders staged and stormed their farm. And she still was holding them off just with a pitchfork while still carrying her baby against her chest trying to fend them off. And the gods were apparently so moved by her courageousness, they gave her freaking lightning powers.
Yeah, not only that, I think she's literally like the top tier hero of the Hall of Heroes.
Yeah, just showing like
and
that,
she's the one
just that pure
She's
sacrifice.
also the one that shows Dan the most compassion.
Yeah, because she knows what's going on. And then of course we have two other really fun moments. Was Steadfast, and I forget what the name of the
Stern Guard?
Sterngard and Steadfast. There are two guys who usually get into arguments about which is better, using a giant magical sword or using a giant magical shield. And apparently what happened to Sterngard was that he died because he choked on some... Oh, hang on. This is actually really important. So we need a crucifix to unlock a secret entrance, but the crucifix has been taken and destroyed. So we need to
Forced
use.
make the attached
So we
cast.
need to
Then
find a
had it
cast
destroyed.
to basically we
My
need to
fate
smelt and
is
forge a
cast
new
out
crucifix.
into the
Pretty
So
much.
of course we're gonna need some
just
gold, and we're gonna
and
need that
good
cast to
future.
actually melt the gold
Signed,
into. So
the tower.
thus begins our little fetch quest here in the village.
You know, I imagine that, like, if it was Zarek's demons that tried to destroy the
Yoink.
crucifix.
Aha!
If it was Zarek's demons that tried to destroy the crucifix, because it's a crucifix, I just imagine it's like, alright, time to destroy, ow! Time to destroy, ow! Time to, ow!
You hold it, no you. But yeah, we're gonna head in here to find that to find the gold that we need.
So, about Sternguard and Steadfast?
I love the idea that Stormguard, we learn about him that he died because he choked on some food wrong. And I love the idea that he choked because freaking Steadfast just said, you know, I don't think I like your shield all that much. And he just was in such shock. They are very, very, like, passionate about their craft.
Oh, yeah.
You'll see how passionate Sternguard is, at least, if we ever see him.
Steadfast is kind of more like, he thinks he's all that. He thinks he's all cool and stuff. But
I'm trying to
Stormguard
remember.
is very serious.
No, that said, trying to remember. Steadfast was the one with the enchanted sword, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the Sternguard's the one with the enchanted shield.
go to battle without a magic sword.
Kind of jumping the gun here, but I honestly prefer Steadfast's methods than Sternguard's, personally.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I will
no,
say,
okay.
just like Steadfast had the better weapon. I personally think Sternguard has the better Hall of Heroes interaction.
He's so fun,
That is
but
fair. I'll give you that.
yeah, he's very fun, but yeah, no, Stern.
Hey.
The shield is cool, but again, the shield is just like any other shield. That doesn't have some cool special. Stop it!
It's just a much better shield at the end of the day. But we'll get more into that later.
Dude,
Yeah.
I love that.
Ow,
Oh,
freak.
sorry about that. You do that. Okay, now I can kill you.
Okay. Grab the gold. Here, we'll use this We'll use this golden bust as the gold. Let's leave.
Oh, but wait.
Now that we've collected everything,
They sent in reinforcements.
hence the people we actually
Oh,
can kill.
hello.
Yep.
Comrades, tear this place apart. If we don't find the shadow artifact, Lord Zarek will have us mocking out the demons for the next millennium.
Aw, they're so silly. So they're here looking for something called the Shadow Artifact, which is apparently the only known key that can unlock and release the shadow demons onto the land of mortals. So we don't want them to get that.
Oh no, that's our sacred privilege.
And I gotta say, SGB played it really safe with like using a bunch of ranged weapons on these guys.
Yeah.
Genuinely, just keep circling around them because they can't get a beat on you fast enough. Also, as you've noticed, a lot of the townsfolk have left now in preparation for all the guards showing up.
Which is good. Mm-hmm. Like beyond like the occasional building you might have to come back into for whatever reason, you're pretty much done with the whole
Yeah.
don't hurt the humans thing.
All's good. All right, let's go make ourselves a new chalice. Not chalice, a crucible.
Blacksmith's month.
Let's see.
Old man Willie Green of Gallowstown was awarded Smithy of the Season by our readers.
That's nice.
His outstanding casts have produced many.
You know, I have to wonder how harsh it must be to have to make a monthly magazine out of hardcover.
In this day and age of no reprinting, you have to write the same thing hundreds of times.
Oh yeah, this
Oh,
was
God,
before.
yeah.
This was
Oh wait,
before-
listen.
There's no stopping me. It's all in the rhythm.
She's trying to quote the man.
Oh my god, that is really good. This woman has range.
Oh no kidding. She's held at least one or two games all by herself.
Oh yeah. All right, so let's put in our cast.
Okay.
Molds metal ornaments, and we just need the metal, which we have from this landlord's bust.
Okay.
This part I'll admit is pretty tedious.
Literally, you just have to keep jumping up and down.
3, 4, 5.
Hang on.
Give me a moment. There we
It
go.
was bugging me this whole time. I had to know.
8. Neon.
And through the power of TV magic, get going.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Through the
19.
power of TV magic, we create a chalice.
There we go.
Scotch tape.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
I think we could have. They could have saved us at least 10 of those pushes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
Anyway, let's find our just rewards.
It's about as tedious as melting an actual bit of gold.
Whoa!
My goodness.
A crucifix once stood here, but the mayor took it. Find
A little late on the draw there, lady.
how the church should really
Yeah, I knew what to do already. I apologize, but yeah, I do like stages like this where I like the variety this game has. Where yes, it's not sometimes it's not always just run in and kill everything. Sometimes there's like puzzles and like a decent little like depth to the world that you're exploring.
Mm-hmm.
A nice little brain teaser for someone who I think whose brain I think already decomposed.
Oh, it fell out. Oh, it fell out months ago.
Yeah.
And then sorry to quote Monsters vs. Aliens.
travels across Galilee, I
like,
have come across many mysterious and enchanting finds. However, that which filled me with deepest dread was that bully boy Zerok, who stop at nothing to
Bully
retrieve
boy
the
Zerok.
skeleton. I fear that he already knows that it is I who possess
Wait.
it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
This isn't matching the writing.
Yeah, this text is not quite right.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, that didn't match at all. But basically, the meaning's still the same. Basically, that's why he had to remove the crucifix, was because Zerok has now learned of where the tomb of the shadow demons are. So all he needs is the shadow artifact to unlock it. But we're gonna excuse me.
Hello.
We're
yeah, that
gonna
guy's
go
still there.
and we're gonna but don't worry, he won't fall in. But yeah, we're gonna go and grab that shadow artifact
And the chalice.
and the chalice and take it for our own, so that nobody else can get to it.
All right, best of luck.
Hopefully, we will not beef it up somehow.
How did you boys get here before I did?
Don't ask questions you don't want answered to, Bone Big.
I thought you were going to
it's-
say, how did we? Don't, well, you got me. By all accounts, it
By
doesn't
all
make
accounts,
sense.
it made no sense.
Where you got me? By all it making no sense by all accounts.
Oh well, back to business.
No safe is safe.
Me.
And
No
inside
safe
the
is safe from
is
keys.
the shadow
A
artifact.
watermelon. No,
Watermelon.
Watermelon?
I'd be really
Oh,
worried
Dan.
if that were the case.
No,
Why
it's
a
actually
watermelon?
no, it's
I don't
actually
know,
in
I was
there.
actually, I was thinking of another video. And yeah, I was thinking of it. I just was thinking of a dumb donkey video. No, it's not dumb. It's actually really funny. It was a
And
donkey
I was just
video
thinking
where-
of the root from Skull Monkeys. You know, the potato.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah.
Don't eat the root, or you'll break out in painful, itchy hives.
Poor Clayman.
Yeah. Okay, hang on. I'm actually.
What are you
gonna-
doing?
I'm gonna enchant my sword because it's at 0%.
Oh, you're right. You got
That's
Now I'm about
okay,
to
that's a
go
fair
into
point.
it. Now I'm about to go. So that's the thing. It costs 100 gold to enchant it every time to 100%. So if it will cost 100, even if I'm at 95%, it will still cost 100 gold to get up to 100%. So try to really maximize its nuts. Try to maximize its usage. And as you notice, a good charge of this will deal a good bit of damage. I'm gonna try and make some use out of this.
best of luck.
Okay, I'm just
It
gonna
does
rapid fire
damage. It
screw
looks like
this.
your chalice cannot be collected.
There we go.
Could have
Hooray.
been handled better, but whatever the case, we're done.
Yeah, the game is. I don't want to say the game is easy, but the game.
Oh, dude,
so,
no, this game's far from easy.
But so long as you know what you're doing. Oh, I can't charge
the
this
hammer.
wall for some reason. Thought I could charge. You can charge. You can charge boulders, but you can't. Anyway. Curse you, fine craftsmanship. There we go.
There you go.
But yeah, I think so long as you don't get cocky and just, I guess, like Dark Souls, approach it with a little bit of caution to your step. Don't just throw it to the wind. I think it's a fairly fair game.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Oh, hang on. Let's see what their
this-
orders were.
Capture that greedy profiteer, the town mayor. Take him to the asylum dungeon.
Well, we gotta go there then.
Give the
Shit.
fat boy a good going over.
That boy.
Locate the
Well, he's not
shadow
wrong.
Artifact. Bring me back something nice.
I understand why she read it like that, but I do like the way SGP looked at it. It's like,
Yeah,
bring me back something nice.
Yeah, it's like actually it's more like find the shadow artifact. Bring me back something nice.
It's basically just a to-do list.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I just realized now that we're at 9 chalices. Speaking of Sternguard,
Yeah, I think like it's either that. I think I might be wrong. I think you actually get the upgrade to the longbow at this point instead.
no, I do believe it's Sternguard after this.
Well,
That night just
only one
also
way to
scrolled
find
ahead
out.
in the video. Hang on, off the table.
Get off
Yeah,
the
yes.
table. Get off the table. There.
Yes, I see the glow.
There
yes. We can now be quiet because I do genuinely like his line delivery as well, and this is why I'm so happy they didn't try to redo it, because some things just can't be perfected.
Herr Fortescue, you are back on the battlefield, yeah? This is good. People say to me, Sturmgard, what do you think of this sword or that axe? But I say to them, Nein! Modern warfare is a question of science, the science of shields.
Yeah, got on with it.
Wait.
I think maybe you should take my shield.
A magical shield.
It's magic for this cure. Some say it's better to have a magic sword than a magic shield, but I say to use it as is rubbish.
Oh, why can't we just have both?
Just want
As
both.
you use it properly, the shield will make you invincible.
Trademark. No, it won't. Asterisk. No, I do not. I wish he said, no, it will not. Because, yes, it's a really cool shield and it has the most durability, but like any shield, it will break.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
get a good look
to
at
its
it.
to its credit, it is easy. It does have the most health out of all the shields, but
And you can get repaired unlike the other shields.
Oh, that's right, yeah. You don't have to pick it up again, but, yeah, get used to, yeah. I hope you all enjoyed looking at it, because I'm not going to show it again until the final battle, because I don't want to waste it.
fair
Okay,
Off we
fair
go.
enough.
So, now that we have successfully saved the village, for now, it's now time for us to go after the mayor, because the mayor probably will know exactly how to get to where he'll probably be able to help direct us to exactly where the shadow demon tomb is. And unfortunately, he's in the asylum, which is, well, it's called an asylum for a reason. It's not really well accessed. So join us then.
Yeah. Till next time, guys.
Bye-bye.
No!